Imagine this. You are standing on the deck of a ship. The engine is working. The sky looks calm. But the sea feels wrong. Not rough, not silent. Just watching you. Your radio suddenly becomes quiet. No voice, no signal. Only a soft static sound. And then, your compass stops making sense. It does not point north. It does not point anywhere. It slowly turns in a circle. The most dangerous moment in your life is not when you see danger. It is when you feel it. Welcome to Japan's forbidden ocean zone, the Devil's Sea, also called the Dragon's Triangle. Where is the Devil's Sea? On the map. This place is located in the Pacific Ocean, south of Japan, near the Izu Islands and the Bonin Islands. Japanese fishermen have known this area for centuries. They do not call it a triangle. They call it Ma no Umi, the Sea of the Devil. Strange, isn't it? When local people give a place a name based on fear, it usually means something already happened there. But here's the mystery that chills even scientists. Some sailors reported that time itself seems to behave strangely in this area. Clocks stop, compasses spin, and a few even claimed hours pass in seconds or stretch unnaturally. The Devil's Sea is not just about violent waves or storms. It is also a time mystery. This isn't just folklore. Modern reports from ships and scientific expeditions hint that something truly unexplained happens here, with time itself. Why does time act differently in this part of the ocean? And more importantly, has it always been this way? The ancient fear of the sea. Long before radar, long before satellites, Japanese sailors told the same story. They said, dragons lived beneath this sea. Not fairy tale dragons, not cartoon monsters. In old cultures, a dragon was not an animal. A dragon was something people could not explain. Sudden fire in the sky, violent waves from nowhere, ships swallowed without storms. When the human brain cannot understand danger, it creates a face for it. And in Japan, that face was the dragon. In the early 1950s, Japan faced something terrifying. More than a dozen fishing boats disappeared in this area. No warning, no mayday, no survivors. But one case changed everything. In 1952, a Japanese research vessel was sent to study this sea. Its name was Kaiomaru No. 5. It was a scientific ship, not a fishing boat, not a weak vessel. It was built to understand danger. And then it vanished. A ship sent to solve the mystery became part of the mystery. There were 31 crew members on board, all gone. Only broken debris was later found. For the Japanese public, this was not coincidence. This was fear becoming real. The government's silent decision. After the loss of Kaiomaru No. 5, the Japanese government did something very unusual. They quietly marked this region as dangerous, not officially forbidden, but silently avoided. When a government avoids an area without public explanation, that creates a very deep kind of fear. Because governments do not fear stories, they fear data. So what did they see that the public never fully saw? The psychological pattern. Here is something very important. Human fear does not start with monsters. It starts with patterns. The human brain looks for repetition. And in the Devil's Sea, the same pattern appears again and again. Compass problems, communication failure, sudden fog, strange lights. The brain is wired to detect danger before logic. When many people experience the same strange signs, the mind creates a warning system. That warning becomes instinct. That is why sailors still feel uncomfortable here. even when technology says it is safe. The volcanoes beneath the sea now comes something real and very dangerous. The Devil's Sea lies above an active volcanic zone. Underwater volcanoes, underwater eruptions, sudden gas releases. You cannot see an underwater explosion, but you can feel its effect. The water suddenly changes density. Ships can lose buoyancy. Engines can fail. The sea itself can turn against the ship. Nature does not need monsters. It only needs pressure. Strange lights in the sky. Many sailors reported bright glowing lights rising from the horizon, floating above the water. To the human mind, a light in darkness means hope. But when the light behaves incorrectly, the brain switches from hope to threat. Scientists believe some of these lights may come from volcanic gases igniting or rare atmospheric effects. But here is the problem. Not every light fits the explanation, and uncertainty is the fuel of fear. Devil's Sea versus Bermuda Triangle. Now think carefully. Two oceans, two distant regions, two cultures, but the same stories. Compass failure, missing ships, strange lights, silence on the radio. When the same type of fear appears in different parts of the world, the human brain asks one dangerous question. What if this is not coincidence? Is the Dragon's Triangle still dangerous today? Today, modern ships still pass through this region. Satellites monitor the area. Volcanic activity is tracked, and large-scale disappearances are rare. But Japanese sailors still avoid this route when possible. Technology removes risk, but it does not remove memory. And human memory controls human behavior. Final psychological ending. Here is the truth. The Devil's Sea is not evil. The ocean is not angry. And dragons do not swim beneath your ship. But the human brain needs a story to survive fear. When people face something too powerful, too sudden, and too silent, they give it a name. Devil, dragon, triangle. Because a named fear is easier to live with than an unknown one. The next time you look at a calm ocean, remember this. The most dangerous places on Earth are not always loud. Some of them stay completely silent until you enter them.